why people don't get referrals is mainly because you do not know how to put the message. There's a proper way of how you should ask for referrals. Don't just say hi and hello and just expect the other person to reply. That is not going to happen. You have to put efforts in searching for the jobs. You have to put efforts, Simon.
So first of all, thank you so much, Gaurav, for being here on my channel today. I mean, I believe your journey is going to be really helpful for the audience. So I believe the discussion that we are going to have will help the students as well as the freshers. So let's get started. Probably you can start with your introduction.
Yes. So first of all, thank you so much, Soumya, for having me in your channel. And hello, everyone. This is Gaurav, and I am basically from a city called Gaurav Steel City in the state of Jharkhand. And currently, I'm based out of Hyderabad. And I did my engineering from SRM University in Chennai. And after that, I joined Optum. So I worked there for about 2.3 years. And recently, just last month, I joined ServiceNow. And this journey was like, I had around 5 offers from PayPal, ServiceNow, OpenText, Ford, and a startup called Geeky Ants. So yeah, we will talk about, how transition.
Sure. Yeah, definitely we'll discuss about them. So you mentioned that you were having around 5 offers, and from these top tech companies that you specified, right now you have chosen ServiceNow. So how did you basically prepare for these companies along with having a full-time job?
Right. So I think it's all about priorities, right? So if you have that thing that you have to change the job, or you are looking for a good job, then you will actually eventually find time for it. So I think let's talk about what is it that we have to prepare. Then we can probably come to how to prepare it. So mainly I would take it into 2 parts. One is for the freshers and one is for the experienced folks. So for the freshers, it's mostly like data structures, algorithms, system design, right, and all these things. So and especially for the experienced folks, system design, DSA is there, but a bit more into depth, I'd say. And apart from that, for freshers, it is mainly their personal projects. But for the working professionals, it is mostly the day-to-day job that they have done, right? So that is what matters. And I think how you should prepare is, I think you should have a proper plan, probably a 6 or 7 months plan that, you will spend so and so much time into this and this topic. And so how I used to do is I had a proper 3 to 4 months of plan in which I used to give initially 3 hours after my job, mainly from 7 to 10. So 1.5 hours was for DSA preparation, and 1.5 hours was mainly for the LLD and system design preparation. So this continued for about 1.5 to 2 months, and I was fully prepared for DSA. Then I started applying to jobs, right? Because that is also very important. Actually, now nowadays what I mostly see people doing is that they just keep on preparing, then they don't apply for the jobs, they don't interview. But I feel that the best way to crack interviews is by giving more and more interviews, right? The more interviews you give, the more confident you become, and eventually there's a question bank that gets prepared, right? So so yeah, I think you have to prioritize things, and yeah, that's all.
Got it. So here you mentioned, how you were, giving your time and all those things. So if you can just share the resources as well that you followed. I know resources are there, but plenty of the resources, if you can, just few of the resources that helped you. So if you can share them.
Yes. All right. So if you are a complete fresher, and I would say just start with a programming language first of all, because unless you know a programming language, you cannot do DS or anything for that matter, right? So I'd say for starting a programming language, if you're start with C++ or Java. So I think Babbar's channel is really nice. Code help with Babbar. I think starting that's really nice. And once you have done with the language, I would say start going from Geeks for Geeks and HackerRank, right? And once you're done with that as well, then you could probably move to something advanced like LeetCode. Or I'd say the best part that I followed was the Stivers SD sheet. I think that is really helpful. And pretty much if you do that, I think mostly all of the major concepts gets covered in that sheet, right? So for DSA, I think all these things. For system design, I'd say that start mainly with LLD. Not even directly questions, but I would say start with the solid principles, then with the design patterns, and then go for the questions, right? There's a proper, hierarchy of learning system design or answering systems and questions. So I think coming to the resources, I think the best part would be Concept and Coding YouTube channel by Shreyansh. So I think that is really nice if you're learning for system design things. And apart from that, you can follow Gaurav Singh's playlist. You can follow Yogita Sharma, Riddhi Datta. So all these things are really nice for system design. And I think for day-to-day job and everything like it's Geeks for Geeks is a good resource. And particularly, I'd like to talk about front-end interviews mainly because I also interviewed for front-end. For front-end, it is a bit different. It's not completely data structures. It is data structures, but not very much in depth. Right? So what in front-end interviews, what major focus is on JavaScript mainly. So I think for JavaScript, like once you have done the basics, I would say start with Akshay Saini's JavaScript, Namaste JavaScript playlist. I think that is really helpful. And apart from that, you can follow Technical Ninja and I think Roadside Coder. These are very nice resources for learning JavaScript. And for HTML, CSS, I think you can follow Code with Harry. So I think, yeah, these are pretty much the resources.
Okay. I believe most of you that you have mentioned, right? So these are the most of the famous resources, and thanks for specifying. You gave a proper list of the resources that one could follow, whether CSS, system design, and even the front end resources. Got it. So you mentioned about the preparation part. Now, somewhere, what I feel is that freshers and even the experienced candidates do struggle getting the opportunities, because see, you are prepared, but if you're not getting the opportunities, you are not having the right approach, to approach the recruiters, or, how basically the things should go, to get the calls, to be shortlisted. So what strategy you followed so that you got the opportunities and the calls from the companies?
Sure. So mainly for getting an opportunity, you have, I think, either 4 or 5 ways by which you can get opportunities. The first, I would say, is directly applying on the career websites. But that is a tedious process, because you have to go through all the career sites of all the companies. Then you have to filter the jobs according to your, the experience, and then apply to that. That is a tedious process. But yeah, it has worked for me actually. But in that case, you have to have a very good resume. So that's a completely different discussion of how you can have a good resume and all this stuff. But yeah, I think career site is one of them. Second, I'd say, is the job portals. So this has worked for me also. And I think for the job portals, I'd say Naukri is really nice. Actually, 2 out of 5 offers of mine were from Naukri actually. So I think Naukri is really nice. Apart from that, InstaHire is really good. I got interview opportunities of Walmart. I think Clear-Trip from InstaHire. So that is also really nice. Apart from that, LinkedIn Jobs is the best. I think that goes anywhere. And apart from that, you can also follow the Hirist. And if you're looking for startups, then I think Well Found is really nice, right? So this is the second part. The third point I'd say is directly going out for reference. So there is a way, like why people don't get references, mainly because you do not know how to put the message. There's a proper way of how you should ask for reference. Don't just say hi and hello and just expect the other person to reply. That is not going to happen. You have to put efforts in searching for the jobs. You have to put efforts, time and effort to reach out to the person. So what I would suggest is have a proper skeleton or a message that initially you can just greet the person. And then you can say that I am so and so, and if either I am in college or I'm working for so and so company, and these are my skill sets, and then directly be short and crisp in asking for reference. That you can say that these are the job IDs. Give the job ID, give the job link also, and also resume you should not attach. I would say that just give the drive link. That is better, because at the end you have to make it easy for the referral, right? So that they can just simply just click on the link and see the PDF. They need not download the resume, right? So I think referral is again another way. Fourth way, which I haven't used, but I don't know how ethical it is, that is to mainly, directly reaching out to the recruiters on a phone or on email, right? So that is something that many of my friends have also done, but I haven't done that. So pretty much these are the 4 ways of, how you can get opportunities.
Got it. I completely agree with you, Gaurav, on that part. The thing that you specified regarding the messages when someone is reaching out to you, because even I believe you also must be getting similar kind of messages, and mostly we do ignore such kind of messages, hi, hello, because nobody, everyone is busy in their own stuff. So completely agree on that part. Well, as much as I know, in your previous organization, that is Optum, there is 90 days notice period, and which is a very huge challenge, right? Because there are most of the companies, even I have gone through the same phase, so I can completely understand. So most of the companies, when you sort of having discussion with them, they will ask you what is the notice period, and as soon as you're specifying 90 days, they'll be okay, we'll let you know, and such kind of things will come into picture. So how did you manage this thing?
I think first point is you have to be really smart when you're handling the 90 days notice period. Initially, what I used to do is I used to say 60 days actually, and then I used to grab the opportunity. So that is something I've done. And apart from that, even if you're saying 90 days, the very first question that the HR will ask, that is it negotiable, right? So even if you know that it is not negotiable, still you should say that it is negotiable, because otherwise you won't even get the interview opportunity, right? So just say it upfront that yes, it is negotiable, and I can get it reduced to 60 to or 50 to 60 days mainly. And even though you know that it is not, your current company is not very flexible in giving an early release, still you should say that you can get it reduced to 50 to 60 days, because only then you'll get the opportunity actually. So you can do this, and if the interviews have been good, right? If the interviews are really good, 90% of the companies will wait for you. That's for sure. There's no doubt about that, even if it is 90 days. So for me, that's how it happened. So I got the first opportunity through a Naukri, and in Naukri it was 60 days for me. So I just grabbed the like interview call, giving 60 days of notice, and then my interviews were really nice there. There was a startup called Geeky Ants. My interviews were really nice there, and actually they waited for me. So yeah, I think this is how you should handle it.
Got it. Makes sense to me. Okay, coming to the next part. So this question also, most of the candidates are having, if freshers is having multiple offers, and even the experienced candidates having the multiple offers, then how should they decide? Like you yourself were having 5 offers, right? So how you decided, according to you, what should be the criteria, to prioritize the things?
So mainly I'd say 5 points. So first I'd say is the money. Of course, if someone says that money is not the reason, compensation is a reason. But I feel that having said that, compensation should not be the only reason to decide, right? So compensation should be a major reason. Second, I'd say is the work, right? I think the work that you are getting, that you want to do, and the work that the company is giving you, I think that should align, right? For me, I actually was I had a choice between PayPal and ServiceNow, and they were the best 2 companies that I was taking, that I was actually like evaluating. And I think for PayPal it was full stack, but more of backend heavy. And for ServiceNow, it was full stack again, but more of front end heavy. And I am a bit more inclined towards front end nowadays. So I that's one of the main reason of like why I chose ServiceNow over PayPal. That was the second thing. Third point, I'd say, is the stability. Especially at this point, I think the stability, job stability, and how stable the company is, that really matters, right? When there's recession all around. So I think that is something you should also consider. Fourth point, I'd say, is the work culture. So I think that is something which really matters for me, because I would prefer companies who actually really care for its employees, right? So I think work culture is the fourth point, I'd say. Fifth point would be the work-life balance, I'd say, because that is also really matters, right? Because I don't want, I want my evenings to be with me. I want to spend time with my families, with my friends. So I think I want the evening to be with myself, or something that I want to do, right? So I think these are the 5 major points that you should consider, apart from the compensation part, when you are actually evaluating job offers. And this priority order may differ from person to person. It might happen that for someone, the work is more in priority than the compensation. In that case, you can reorder this, but I think these are the 5 parameters that you should consider when you are evaluating multiple job offers.
Right. Makes sense. Like, yeah, obviously it depends on the individual as well. And, but the things that one should consider before joining a company is the points that you have correctly specified. Well, I think these were some of the questions I was having to discuss with you. And in case anyone is having any doubt, they'll surely drop a comment. And obviously, I'll be providing your LinkedIn ID as well in the description, so people can directly reach out to you. But before wrapping up, right now we all can see like experienced candidates is suffering because of layoffs, because somewhere layoffs are still going on, but mostly I think it's the freshers who is suffering a lot during this time. I mean, most of them are not even getting the opportunities. Competition is too high. So anything from your end that you would like to, any advice that you would like to give to the freshers in this scenario?
I'd just say that, I understand that the time is really tough. There are layoffs all around, complete recession, global recession is going on. But I'm very sure that these things will eventually, be better. And this is the time to prepare, I'd say. I understand that you're not getting the calls, but be prepared. And until the time the market is up, actually the market is going through a correction phase, I'd say, right now. So the market once gets corrected and everything is okay, you will start getting opportunities. And just believe in yourself, believe in the journey, believe the reason why you started. And most importantly, don't get disheartened by rejections. No one clears all the interviews that they give. They will face rejections. That for sure, because even I gave around more than 50 interviews in 20 to 25 companies, and then I had around five offers, right? So that is okay. Just learn from your rejections. Just try to find out at where is it that you're lagging. How can you do better on those weaker parts, and just try to get better off. And also try to prepare questions. Eventually there would be a time when you'll have a lot of question bank, and there would be a time you don't need to study anything else, just the question bank. That would be more than enough, right? So yeah, I think this is the advice that I would give the freshers.
Okay, thank you so much, Gaurav. I believe it was great talking to you. Even I got to know so many things. So thanks again. On that note, we can wrap up the session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Soumya. And first of all, thank you for inviting me. And I think you're doing a great job. So kudos for that. And for everyone who's watching, that just feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn or Instagram. You will get the links in the description. And just don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'll surely reply to you. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.